Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 741. My name is Kyle.
And my name is James.
My name is Zach.
And we're here to talk movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah,
Good.
Thanks. Welcome.
I have a bit of a mea culpa to make.
Okay.
Yeah. We saw a certain superhero movie a couple of weeks ago. And there was a very heated discussion around this movie. And I recently rewatched this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And during this discussion, I made a claim about the movie. And it was a claim that I defended, and a claim that I pointed out as being quite obvious. And how could someone miss that? And I watched Spider-Man Brand New Day again. And I realized that when Peter's in the hospital, he's not on the ventilator. And
Okay.
I'm so sorry for calling out that movie, because if you remember correctly, I made this whole point that Peter's in the hospital, he's on the mask,
I remember.
the ventilator says standby mode. I'm like, well, obviously he's
Sure.
camping standby mode. It's not detecting a patient. This is a safety hazard. And I got my whole medical device high horse here.
Yeah. I believe
and
I
then
challenged you on that.
Hmm?
I believe I challenged you on it, right?
I believe you did. Yes. Yeah. We spent like a good hour, I think, discussing this. Yeah. Because Zach was like, he's not on the ventilator. Like, he's obviously team ventilator here. Well, I was wrong. He's not on the ventilator. He is wearing an oxygen mask, but it's clearly hooked up to the wall oxygen supply behind him because he's breathing on his own. So apologies to Sony and the MCU for calling me out on your poor use of medical devices in your movie. I'm sure that that ventilator was probably AI generated anyway, but
Likely.
it's my bad. Sometimes we make a bad call on this show, and we know when we can admit we're wrong. Correct, James? Like when we're wrong, we can admit that, right, James?
I mean, I think it's important to admit when you're wrong.
Okay, yeah, like when the facts are clearly in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement.
As soon as facts are in front of me, I admit I'm wrong.
Okay, perfect. Good.
I think, Kyle, this probably is not something we can move past. I think you need to hand in your engineering credentials.
Yeah. Sorry, this engineering degree, which I don't have, is now moot. So
Sure.
I talked my way this far, and it finally caught up to me, guys. Sorry.
Honestly, if
I'm
I
a fraud.
If I saw like a oxygen mask versus a ventilator, I probably couldn't even really tell you.
Well, I think
What the
you definitely
difference
could,
is.
James. I mean,
I
even
don't
if
know.
you
I'm
don't
not
know
sure I
anything
could.
about them, I think you could just walk yourself through like thinking about what they might do.
Oh, I understand what they do, but like
Exactly.
they both just kind of look like masks on people's faces though, right? But the oxygen one is like a little less intense. Is that the difference? Visually, is that the difference?
Usually, if you're on a ventilator, you're intubated, where you have the tube down the throat.
Right, but it's still just a mask over your face that you
No,
can see.
It is
right?
a tube down
It's
your
a
throat.
tube down your throat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're not
Again.
talking. You're probably not awake because it's very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Again, my original statement is I couldn't tell. And clearly I couldn't tell.
No, but I think you could, because if you saw it, you don't have to guess do they look the same? You would see a tube down someone's throat, and you wouldn't think like, oh, they're wearing an oxygen mask.
Oh, I understand it now, but when I originally made that statement, I
Uh.
wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
There are use cases where you could be on a ventilator with a mask, like if you're breathing on your own and you just need like some supplemental oxygen. So that's, but most of the time, if you're on the ventilator, it is breathing for you.
As in, like, there's a tube all the way down to your lungs.
There's a tube down to your throat, and there's a mechanical pump that is moving air through your lungs. Exactly.
This does bring up a larger point of seeing people in movies doing the thing that you happen to know more about than the average person, right?
Sure.
And for me, it is, I'll see extras in movies pretend to be camera people or paparazzi or news people wielding cameras, right? And almost to a person, if you give an extra camera and say, take a photo with this, they look like they've never held a camera in their life.
Sure. Yeah.
It is absurd what people do with these cameras, and I'm just like, isn't it valuable? Just spend like 3 minutes with them and say like, hey, this is how you hold, because everyone, all the crew, I'm assuming, would be familiar with how to
Knows
do
how to
this.
hold a
Like,
camera. Yeah.
there's lots of people there that could say like, that looks terrible.
Sure.
Don't do that. But no, it's very common.
The same thing happens with musicians, not so much in movies, because oftentimes movies hire actual musicians, but you'll see people in like print advertisement playing musical instruments, and they're holding them backwards, they're holding them wrong, they're assembled the wrong way, and you're like, yeah, someone just like found the trombone in the trunk and kind of screwed it together and said, here, hold this trombone looking thing, and it looks great for the ad, but like this is not how you play the trombone at all.
There's a YouTube account where they will play the music as played by people on TV shows and movies.
Oh yeah,
but like just by following their fingering and stuff like that, and it's pretty great. They did that with Saved by the Bell when they're all playing.
The band's playing, and like Zach's just like shredding away. But
it's
great.
great.
Nothing.
It's really great. Yeah,
Screech is pounding the keyboard.
Yeah.
What do you search to find that?
I don't know, but I can send you a link. I could probably find it quickly. Yeah.
You could probably search like Saved by the Bell actual music or something.
Yeah,
like
find it, drop it in the Discord for everybody. When you get the chance. You don't have to do it right now, but welcome.
Well, I found it by searching Saved by the Bell actual music.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I always love when we just randomly drop things in the Discord while we're recording. I just wonder if people, listeners are like, what are they talking about right now? Why is Saved by the Bell in our Discord chat?
I mean, Saved by the Bell is constantly talked about on this show, so why wouldn't it be in the Discord chat?
But there's no context. It's just all of a sudden in the Discord chat, this link appears out of nowhere.
That's true. But then they listen, and then they there it is.
It's eventual context.
Right.
Right. Oh, it's only a minute long too.
Yeah.
It's a real bop. I mean, they just get in there, sing their song, get a verse, got a chorus, got a guitar solo, get out.
Sure. That's my kind of YouTube video.
I was a huge Saved by the Bell fan.
You were.
Very big Saved by the Bell fan. And it does make me sad the more I know about like the cast members.
Like what was happening behind the scenes,
because they're all real people with complications.
Yeah, they're more complex people than their characters they played in the show.
Sure.
And it's a little, it's too bad. James, you playing a little.
Oh, we can hear it now.
Copyrighted.
Yeah, listen to that Zach Morris go to town on the guitar.
Good. Really good. This song was a banger though.
But isn't like Slater's playing the drums, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He's actually like keeping time, right? I feel like he actually knows he's the one person playing the instrument correctly.
AC Slater, the guy who played him, is actually just very talented at a lot of things.
Mario Lopez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, here's the guitar solo. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. I mean, I couldn't do any better, but it's still pretty bad.
Zach, did Lisa Turtle turn out okay? I know a lot of the cast members had their issues, but
yeah, she went through it for sure. I think she's a part of some fringe religious group. I don't know if she's
I can't remember if she went religious or right wing.
Probably both at different times. I don't know.
Okay.
But she seems
Scientologist?
Is she Scientologist or witness or something? Christian Science, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. Interesting.
Is Tiffany Amber Thiessen the most normal, or is Zach Morris the most normal?
No, I would describe Zach Morris as the most normal.
Okay.
I would say Mario Lopez is the most normal until I saw that recent video that he posted. Did you guys see that?
With the Tate brothers, or
no.
Okay.
I don't think Mario Lopez is tape coded. I think he is he.
Well, he definitely like at some before they were arrested again. I think they were at a UFC fight or something like that, and like there was a video of like Mario Lopez like shaking hands with the Tate brothers and smiling, and You know, it wasn't for the cameras. It was just someone just happened to record it happening. So
Sure. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a very odd video, James. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't say that I saw it before, but
He posted an AI video that was generated from an image of him and his niece at a baseball game.
with the hot dog, right?
Yes, but
yeah,
it's a very uncomfortable video, I would say, if you
Yeah.
know the context that that's his niece.
yeah. I saw that. And it was like, you thought this was
A good
okay
idea.
to post.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to say, "Hey AI, make a funny video," and it makes that. You're like, "Oh, we're okay. That's not what I wanted." But
Sure.
it's
Or
strange.
like
then-
even showing it to her and being like, isn't this crazy that like even that's probably a bridge too far, but then to post it to your millions of followers,
right,
like that is the step where you're just like, okay, I can kind of see how the other stuff happens. It's the posting is where you should have like some common sense should have entered the equation here.
I would love if there was like a general accepted practice where every single person has a second person who like has to okay their posts.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Like a
So, like-
posting buddy.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if you are like the president of the United States or if you're me, right? This is that
Sure.
huge spectrum of like, but you hit send and it goes to another person, and this person is just like, "Hey, are you sure you want to post this?" And then you're like, "Oh, you're right. That's a good call."
Is it a random person or everyone has a buddy?
Oh, it could be random because I feel like if it's random, then you have a better chance of not influencing the buddy.
It just feels like censorship.
I know it's not censorship. I think it's the
Can
person.
you override them?
Yeah, yeah, sure. You know what? The person can either just say yes, or they can send it back and say, "Are you sure?" And here's why I think, "Are you sure?" And then you can either say, "I don't care, post anyway," or you can, and maybe there's a community note saying, "Hey, buddy, thought XYZ." I don't know, but it's just sometimes you need a second pair of eyes to see something and be like, "Oh, you're right. You know what? Maybe that does come across as weird."
Right before Musk bought Twitter, like maybe a year before, Twitter implemented a change to where when you posted a reply to somebody, it would look at your reply and try to discern the tone of it. And then it would ask you, "Are you sure you want to post it like that? Or do you want to maybe rephrase it?"
Yeah.
And they actually saw a noted change in like I forget how they measured it, but there's like they could tell that like people were communicating nicer when they actually took the advice of whatever the function was. And of course, Musk bought it, and that was like one of the first things to go.
Right. Well, that's censoring free speech, which obviously Zach's a big proponent of free speech right here. So
Sure. But it was very similar to what you're talking about, but without the buddy. It was just the computer could recognize,
Sure.
maybe don't throw the F word in there, or whatever. It was just like, hey, if you soften this, you might get a better response. And some people followed it, and it helped. I think that would help if every time you posted, it just took one more button click and just a little bit like, hey, we noticed.
Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to episode 741 of the Cinereelists podcast. Believe it or not, we talk movies on this podcast. We're going to talk one this week and potentially 30 others because we're doing a list this week because we're the Cinereel lists. It's right there in the name.
Just put that together.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah, we're going to talk It Ends and run down our top 10 90-minute movies. What would it take for this episode to be exactly 90 minutes? Do you think we could do that?
Different intro. I do think it's funny that we are doing a list, as suggested by James, of 90-minute movies for a movie that is not 90 minutes long.
It's not? I thought it was.
It's 129 minutes.
Okay, so it's...
No, it's 1 hour and 29 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I mean. 1 hour and 29
It's 89
minutes.
minutes.
It's 89 minutes long.
Wikipedia says 90 minutes. That's where I got it from. And maybe Wikipedia is wrong. That's not impossible, but...
Did you guys
Rotten
make a list?
Tomatoes and IMDb both have 1 hour, 29 minutes.
I mean, Rotten Tomatoes gets its info from IMDb, so...
Well, where does Wikipedia get it?
From Wikipedians.
Right.
Wikipedians.
That's what they're
Did
called.
you guys make a list of movies that are exactly 90 minutes long?
I did.
I did.
Oh, I did not.
That's what the
Okay.
list is.
That's okay.
What did you title the list, Kyle?
Mine are under 90 minutes.
I think
Under
that's
90
fine.
minutes?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, your list is gonna be because okay.
So
I
you
feel
have
like you guys,
no 90-minute movies. They have to be 89 or less.
all mine are 89 or less. Yes.
Okay.
Because this movie that we saw is 89 minutes. It's not even 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
Depends on who you believe.
Well, I would say most of the facts I've seen say 89 minutes.
Oh,
So-
I'm pulling up the movie right now. I'll tell you in a second. This
Great.
movie is 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 1 second.
Ooh.
So, unfortunately, James, this is rare, but Wikipedia was the inaccurate one and IMDb was the correct one.
Fair enough.
So, James, when presented with this fact, how long would you say that it ends is?
I would say that Wikipedia got it wrong. It's probably 1 hour, 29 minutes, and
Okay,
1 second.
But I do think it's fun that we have this list.
I didn't get it wrong, though. So I'm not like apologizing or mea culpaing or whatever you said. I'm just acknowledging that Wikipedia was wrong. And I repeated Wikipedia.
Ah, got it. I do wish I made the same list as you guys. I guess we should discuss about this. I think that's fun that you guys made lists that is exactly 9 minutes long. So
I mean, now I'm second guessing all these numbers because I cross-checked Wikipedia.
So what I did is I looked at them first on Letterboxd
Uh-huh.
and then picked out movies that are 90 minutes long. And then I looked all of them up on IMDb, and some of them IMDb listed as like 89 minutes or 91 minutes. And so I only picked movies that were 90 minutes both on Letterboxd and IMDb. Because I thought if both of them said it, it's probably
probably
accurate.
correct. That's good.
I will say I cross-checked my top 10, but against Google. So I'm curious to know where Google gets their number. Did they pull it from Wikipedia as well? Because they definitely pull other things from Wikipedia. I don't know.
Question.
We will see. I'm fine if it's a little off, as long as it's, within a minute, up or down. It's all good with me. Not that it really matters in the long run. Anyway, before we jump into discussing It Ends and our top 10 90-minute movies, or less, or a little more, we need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Subscribe and watch while you listen. You could also support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show episodes as well as other Cinerealist swag. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review. That's free and easy. If you're listening on an iPhone right now and you've never done that, just if you're listening through Apple's podcast app, scroll down, give us a rating, give us a review. We'd appreciate that. Send us an email is another thing you could do. heyguys@cinereelist.com. That email address is in the description of this episode. Send us an email with a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion, your latest top 10, last 10, anything you want to send to us. We'd love to get via email, and we'll discuss on a future episode of the show. You can also use that email to enter the contest we have going right now for a vintage t-shirt from the 2002 M. Night Shyamalan movie Signs. All you have to do to enter that is send us an email. Tell us exactly why you deserve to win the t-shirt. That could be one sentence. It could be 2 words. It could be 8 paragraphs. I don't care. Just convince me that you deserve a brand new vintage t-shirt from the 2002 M. Night Shyamalan movie Signs. We will pick a winner at episode 750, which is 9 episodes away. So get to it. You guys ready to talk It Ends?
Yes.
All right.
So ready.
It Ends is in theaters now. We're going to get into it right after this clip.
I can't sleep. I can't sleep, dude. I can't turn my brain off.
I can't sleep either. It's like I'm not even tired.
24 hours later, and I'm not even hungry. I'm sorry, guys, but there's no turn coming.
James, you really think we're dead?
I mean, it's definitely on the table, yeah.
You seem to be handling it pretty well.
So just this? Forever, you know? Why the would this be the afterlife?
I mean, it doesn't have to be the afterlife, you know, it could be, anything.
Like what?
I don't know, like a drug trip, or like a wormhole, or like a, ancient curse we triggered.
You think we might have caused this? Like something we did?
I mean, look, not to point fingers, but did anyone do anything horrible recently? Something like evil that would curse us?
That was It Ends, a 2025 American road horror thriller film written and directed and edited by Alexander Ulam in his directorial debut. This movie stars Phineas Yoon, Akira Jackson, Noah Toth, and Mitchell Cole, amongst others, but mainly those four, for sure. And the official IMDb plot synopsis for It Ends is: friends on a late-night food run become trapped on an infinite highway with otherworldly terrors lurking beyond. Confined in their Jeep Cherokee, they must decide whether to accept their fate or attempt escape. That's a pretty good plot description for a movie that does have some spoilers in it. Like, they danced around those spoilers quite a bit while also giving you pretty much what the movie is, I would say. Yeah. I'm impressed by that one. Probably the director wrote it, I would guess. I doubt a marketing team came up with something that carefully written.
That nuanced.
Yeah, for sure. What did you guys think of It Ends? Before you jump in, I should say I saw It Ends last year. It was released on the Letterboxd video store. There was a few people talking about it at year's end, so I checked it out. It made my top 20 list. I enjoyed it. Then it was a hit on the video store, and people were talking about it. It grew. The hype grew enough that Neon bought the film and has now given it a theatrical release, which I think is interesting. I doubt they paid a lot of money because it's a very low budget, maybe even micro budget. Did anybody read anywhere how much they spent on this? I haven't seen that, but I also didn't look for it.
No, but it can't be a lot because
right.
It's
approximately 50 to 80,000.
that
Okay.
sounds about right. Yeah.
I think that probably qualifies for micro budget. These
Yeah,
days,
for sure.
For sure.
This was a movie that I think they're like, okay, we don't have a big budget. What is something that we could shoot?
Yes. for
And I think it's a great idea for something they can shoot on a low budget.
Yeah. It's very primer-ish.
Yes.
Another thing that, like, there's not crazy special effects in Primer. It's like a lot of it's just natural locations and the insides of storage, lockers and stuff like that. Storage lockers? Storage units.
Yeah, storage units. Yeah. Yeah, locker's okay too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoy It Ends, clearly. What did you guys think of it?
I guess before I get into it, I was thinking we could probably do a general review and then spoiler review.
Yeah. Let's do a very quick general because probably the meat is in the spoilers.
Sure.
I imagine.
So I would say generally I support movies like this. I like the idea, like you mentioned Primer. I like the idea of a micro budget movie where you have a small cast, you have a limited location, and you're using that like there's probably some weird setup of some sort. In our movie, I was thinking it was Coherence. Around the similar time. Like, it's a movie like this and like those, they're almost like extended Twilight Zone episodes. Like, what if we take this idea, we kind of contain it in a bottle, and then we have characters to explore this idea, and maybe we explore it through philosophy, or maybe explore through, like human nature, human interaction, how would humans react to a certain situation. And this movie is very much that case, where it takes four people, puts them in this weird situation, and then it's like, well, how would they react in this situation? Where I will say where the movie faltered for me was kind of in the characters themselves. 'Cause I thought the setup was really interesting. I thought the mystery was really compelling. I found the four characters to be rather kind of, at least three of the four seemed more or less the same, or they chose to react to the situation in kind of the same manner. So there was one guy who was a little bit more interesting because he was sort of trying to suss things out and to, figure out what's the end game here. But these other three sort of took similar paths. And I found that to be, I guess, missed. We can talk about more of this in spoilers, but I would have liked to see maybe more archetypes of these characters and like how they would respond to this situation. So yeah, I would. I also found in the middle where they're kind of going through a routine, that personally just dragged for me too. Of like I was ready for the next shoe to drop or the next thing to happen in the story, because again, it has a really compelling setup and I think it has a interesting ending that's worth discussing. But that middle section for me, kind of felt like it was a little padded. Like maybe we could have been under 90 minutes, under 80 minutes in this case. So
interesting.
Yeah. So
at least under 101 hour 29.
1 hour 29. Yeah. But I will stand by the fact I like movies like this that are made because it is a chance to explore interesting ideas without having like a huge set or budget or anything along those lines. Yeah.
Cool. I got to watch this with James, which was fun.
Oh, cool.
Yep. We watched this together. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I'm glad I saw it. I also appreciate movies like this. I love small budget films that don't necessarily look like poor quality, right? Nothing about this like was, out of focus, so like quality was fine. The budget limitations were we're hiring unknown actors, we're doing limited sets, those kind of things. And I'm all about that, right? Like let's get to the filmmaking, let's get to the script. I definitely enjoyed the premise. It is a highbrow premise, it's let's summarize it in one line, like what if people are stuck on a road and it never ends? What do you do? And I thought it was well executed as far as like they deliver on the premise. There's not a ton of fat beforehand. I mean, we get to things within the first like 5 or 10 minutes probably. I really like that a lot. For me, I did enjoy the middle part. I didn't feel it was padded. In fact, I thought the middle part was probably the biggest, maybe the part of the movie that most fit what the movie was trying to discuss. And so I could have explored that middle part even longer and seen more of like what life looked like for them once they're, in the middle of it, kind of a thing. But this is a movie that it had some like elements like it wasn't just like we're on a road and that's it. Like there was things to explore, there was things that changed, there was interesting facets of it that like changed their specific situation. And the characters, if I had one like thing that I didn't love about the movie is the four people do feel a little bit smushed together in the sense of like, it wasn't bowling me over that they are like really good friends. Like it seems like no one really liked each other. They're just constantly like jumping on each other. If one person says something, everyone is like dogpiling them. So I didn't get like that there's this baseline of affection between all of them. But that being said, I think they easily could have been like a year or two friends. You know what I mean? They're not like best friends for life kind of people necessarily, but like they did seem like, people that knew each other in college kind of a thing. But yeah, and then I hope during spoilers we talk about the meaning of the film, because I really enjoy an existential movie that is thinking about big ideas, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I like the film quite a bit.
Nice. Just because I never get to play it.
Quite a bit refers to a significant amount.
I also like the movie, clearly. I think I gave it a 4.5 the first time I watched it. And I think, spoiler alert, that'll probably hold. I think my second experience with the movie, even knowing where it's going to go and those types of things, 10 months later or however long it was since I saw it the first time, I saw all the things in it the second time that I enjoyed the first time. So I think there's certainly things you can spoil about this movie. Definitely. I think you should probably go into it knowing as little as possible. I think your first experience will be, if you don't know some of the twists and turns it takes, it's going to play differently. But also it held up even when I knew all those things. And sometimes movies that have high concepts can't do that. And this one did it for me. I think in retrospect, that 0.5 star, which persists from it being like just a banger all-time classic for me, 5-star movie, is probably the acting. Like they're young actors. They probably don't have a lot of film experience. And so there are times in the movie that I noticed more on the second viewing that just, it showed a little. You know what I mean? I think sometimes the material was a little bigger than the skills of the people who were executing it. And so sometimes some of the things that I think were intended on the page to be a little more emotional, either they went too big or they went too small, and they just didn't hit the sweet spot consistently. Probably the best actor in the movie exits the movie halfway through. That's okay, because there's still a lot of meat on the bones here. And it's certainly not, it wasn't amateur hour. It's just, you can, maybe with a more seasoned director. I think everybody on the crew here is young. And that's probably what I find the most interesting about it, is when we get into spoilers, we talk about what it means. I think this is from the perspective of somebody who's definitely much younger than me, and how they're perceiving what the future might be. And that might sound very crazy for like what it kind of presents itself as, a horror thriller, micro budget horror thriller. And it's definitely that, but I think it elevated itself by just having much broader themes than what it actually had to have. And I think especially in the writing, I think definitely there's like 2 characters that eventually come to the same conclusion, but the first one and the last one make very different choices in this movie, and I think they represent very specific things. Also, just because I've seen it twice, they are high school friends who have not hung out in a while. So some of them just graduated college or are about to graduate college, and one of them was in the military but got kicked out.
Yeah.
And so they definitely, like, you can think about their last couple years of their lives when they weren't day-to-day friends, and now they're coming back together, and that might be an explanation for some of the bickering and the teasing each other in the first part of the movie, is that they're old friends that have just gotten back together. And also, if you can't get over the kind of occasionally wooden acting, you just have to think about what the motivation of some of these characters are, and it helps to get through some of that stuff. That being said, you guys know I love low budget or micro budget movies that can pull this type of stuff off. To be fair, I don't watch micro budget movies that don't get talked about, so I'm sure there's plenty that are like completely unwatchable. But the ones that I come to that seem to, like, people talk about them and then I learn about it and then I give it a shot, they're great, and this definitely fits within that world. And just the ingenuity, the economy of storytelling, the human creativity to like just come up with a story that's within your grasp. You know what I mean? You can actually make this a reality and then execute it. As a first-time writer, director, and editor, it's just impressive because it's not something I think, it's certainly something I've never done, and maybe something I couldn't do either. And it's always impressed me, and it continues with this one. Also think it fits within the Backrooms obsession thing that's going on right now, and that might be what Neon was thinking with the theatrical release. Is like, hey, if we hype this up a little bit, maybe we can squeeze some more out of it. Yeah,
it's so great to see original content. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, love content, especially the original kind. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, even though this is not based on YouTube or YouTube IP or made by a YouTuber, right? I agree. It has this sense of like this DIY aspect that we're getting from these YouTube inspired movies that are coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just think the perspective too is not something I would have seen in the 90s or the early 2000s. We'll get into it in spoilers, but just like some of the broader themes that are going on here, the character choices and stuff like that. I think some of it's universal, but I think some of it's also probably generation specific. And so I like trying to understand other people's perspectives, and I felt like this movie had some that I hadn't really thought through much. So, but yeah, I clearly enjoyed it as well. Anything else anybody has to jump in here on?
I want to discuss it in spoilers.
For sure. Yeah.
I think we need to get into it.
Okay. Do you guys want to? I gave it a 4.5. What did you guys give it before we talk spoilers?
I give it a 4.5.
I might be a 3.5.
Okay. A 3.5 and 2 4.5s for It Ends. From now until the list, we are in spoilers. So if you need to jump ahead to the list, just check the timestamps in the description. If you don't want to hear spoilers, which if you haven't seen the movie and you plan on seeing it, you should not listen to this. Just come back and listen after you've seen the movie. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've seen the movie, then listen on. Okay. So the premise of the movie, they're on a road. They turn on this road and it never ends. Or at least they can't tell if it ever ends. And
it ends.
It definitely ends.
It ends, yes.
And on this road, they don't age.
They don't get hungry.
Right. There's still a 24-hour cycle where daylight, nighttime, that type of stuff, but it doesn't rain generally. You know what I mean? Nothing really changes other than
they don't need gas.
Going up and down.
They don't get tired. The car doesn't run out of gas.
Yep.
Right.
And I really like that this movie established those rules at the beginning, because it's like this isn't a survival as in like, oh no, how to get gas, how we get, like, this isn't an apocalypse movie.
It made it a completely different movie that they established those rules.
Exactly. And so I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Sure. The movie wasn't about trying to figure out all those things because they just kind of give them to you.
Right. Exactly. They figure out pretty quickly. What I found interesting early on, they eventually realize there's people in the woods, right? And these people swarm the car and they attack. And part of the question is, who are these people? Where are they coming from? Why are they here? And one of the characters does get physically hurt, and then but it seems like he kind of heals and that kind of goes away. So I was like, oh, they do heal, right? Yeah. Like there's something happening here. That's one of those moments where I was like, oh, I wish we had run more with that. Of like, oh, this guy's injured. Will he stay injured? Will it get better? Will it get worse? If you get injured, does that mean that you can die? Are characters going to be suicidal? Because they realize like they're trapped on this road for, we can discuss how long they were there. So I think for me that's where I was missing some of like that more exploration. Just because they establish, oh, like injury happens. Okay, well, if injury happens, then that means other things can happen beyond there. And maybe we could have had a more broad human response to this situation.
I mean, I'm glad that it heals and
Yeah.
he doesn't stay injured. Because again, I don't want anything distracting away from anything like, oh, you could get injured and possibly die takes away from the dilemma. Like the dilemma is like you're stuck. Like there's no getting off of the road. So how do you deal with that? And if there is a way to get off the road, you just, die or get infection and die. You know what I mean? Then you can ignore the dilemma.
But I guess I was curious to see, like, okay, if you kill yourself, can you kill yourself? Right? Like, is there that desperation? Because our characters get desperate after a while.
Some of them do.
Not all of them. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought, I guess I wanted to. I thought maybe more of that human desperation. Not from all. I don't want 4 people in the car freaking out. That would have been not a pleasant movie to watch. But you do have 4 people in the car, and it kind of felt like 3 of them all ended up in the same spot. And to me, that was a missed opportunity.
Are you saying the first 3?
The first 3, exactly.
So I think slightly different. I do think that they have different arcs.
Sure.
The middle 2, I think, have the same arc, but
and maybe that was a waste that I saw to use both these people for the same arc.
The first one was like, had been in the army, and he literally just wants peace. He's not striving for anything. He's not going to waste his time trying, right? He's just going to accept what it is because he's happy to just have peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
The middle 2 people are like, we have each other. Like, if we're stuck in this, that's fine. We can accept this because we have each other. Like, I'm here with my best friend. That's fine. That's good enough for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need more than this. I've accepted this. And then the 4th person couldn't accept his situation, and so he is striving to get out of it, and he can't accept where he is,
right,
or the situation he's put in.
I also thought, go ahead, James.
The Tyler character, the one that gives up first and gets out of the car, and he's the only one that like didn't finish college and got into the real world. You know what I mean? Like got into the military and he's
kind of a quitter.
He's had like adult responsibilities before, whereas the other 3 just got out of college, and they, I think, are a little more. They're a little less realistic about the realities of life. You know what I mean? Sure. I feel like Tyler, even before he makes the decision, you can feel in him that he is just a little less of a dreamer than these other ones.
He's more realistic. Like he kind of sees where this is going,
Right. Yeah. And I think he also has pivoted in life. You know what I mean? He's had dreams and changed things.
Right.
And the others are still kind of generally towards the beginning of their journeys. I also thought it was interesting that the last one, I don't know if there's anything to this, and maybe this is definitely stereotypical, but it's interesting that the Asian one,
no, I agree,
is the one that's like, no, I need to accomplish this. You know what I mean? I have to see this through. I know they didn't really have anything other than what he looked like on screen to like represent that. It's not like he was saying my parents would be disappointed in me or anything like that. But I just found it interesting. I'm curious to know if that was on purpose, like if they intentionally cast that actor as Asian just to have people think down that direction, or if it's just complete coincidence. They're buddies. Who knows? Whatever. I don't know. But I thought that was interesting too. Also, and I want to pick your brains on this because I didn't fully understand it the first time, but why was it important that the girl character had attempted suicide before? Like, I'm not sure how that plays in to her and the other character that I think they were friends before the movie starts, but they become best friends over the course of that long drive, clearly.
I mean, I think it was, I think part of it was, and they mention this later, like at some point they're like, well, we have nothing here to do but talk. Right. There's, and I think they even say at one point, like, what happens when we talk about everything that there is to talk about? So I don't know if it's terribly important. Zach, if you read differently, please, I would like to know. I don't know if it's terribly important, the character, that she had committed suicide before. Maybe it was, she's more likely not to give up, but she's more likely to be like accepting this situation. But I think it was just kind of showing also how they were just in this car. They had nothing else to do. So like, this is their chance to open up. Like if you know in front of you is just this forever, like might as well let your deep dark secrets out. Like it's if there's no reason to hide anymore, then just put it out there.
And I think in that moment they're basically opining on why they're in the situation, and one of the things was one of us or all of us have done a really horrible thing, so let's list the worst things we've ever done. And then when they get to her and she's like, I attempted suicide, they're like, whoa, we don't have anything even close to that, so that's probably not the issue.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because they are, after Tyler leaves, there's this big question of why are we here? Is this punishment? Is this, is it sin? Is it afterlife? There's all these questions. Right. So that makes sense that they're trying to figure out, did they do something? Do they deserve to be here?
And I think specifically they picked attempted suicide as the thing that she did, right? Because it's taking life for granted. It's being like, okay, I've been given life and I'm going to not keep, I'm not going to accept that. Like, I'm going to give up the life that I've been given. And that was her sin, kind of a thing. And so now they're on the road and like, I think that plays into it, kind of a thing. But I think one thing that I'd love to talk to you guys about is, what is your interpretation of the road? What does it mean or stand for, or why are they there? Do you have a theory? Because I certainly do, but I would love to hear your guys's.
So yeah, my theory is based on the end of the movie. So I guess we it's a spoiler section. We can jump to the end.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So David drives.
James? Isn't James the last guy?
I thought his name was David.
No, the last guy's name is James.
Okay. Sure.
I only know that because they said it over and over, and that it drives me nuts when it's my name.
James, he drove to the end, right?
Yeah.
I think they say it's like over 1 million miles he drove.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone would do the math if you figure out how fast.
I think it's about like 4 years.
Probably. That makes about sense. Yeah. So he drives to the end. He gets to the end of the road, and it's just a bunch of cars, and there's a sign that says road ends, and he kind of breaks down because I think he was the guy who was looking for meaning the entire time, right? And after he breaks down, he like kind of finds a person lying in the field, because there's these people out there who've essentially given up. They're just kind of lying down in the field because you don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't really do it. I guess he does eat, which is important. Maybe he actually experiences some joy there. So he finds a person, drags him in the car, starts driving the other way, and this starts talking to him about the hawk versus gun, which we should discuss that too. By the way,
we should for sure. That person is the director, by the way.
Oh, it was. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So I think based on that ending, I think the message of the movie is like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I interpreted it that way because he finds the stranger, he pulls him in the car, and then starts talking to the stranger of like, hey, what do you think about this? And, it's almost like his way of finding a new human connection. And this was, you mentioned before, this was the character who said like his whole life plan, like, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna get a medium job in a city, and then buy a boat, and like, so he was very goal oriented, right? And I think maybe the message is that's not the point. Like, if this road is life, it's not about getting to the end, it's about
the process.
Sure.
And like how you engage with others, along it.
Yeah.
That gives it richness, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, he also has like the two friends who did leave, they did have the schedule. They said, oh, let's talk, let's scream, let's have this. Like, they were trying to make something out of it. And James was just sort of like, gotta drive, get in the car, we gotta go. He was the one who wanted to keep going. I'm going to admit, I'm sort of live thinking this one out
Sure,
as we're talking about it. So I appreciate it, Zach. I don't know if it's a fully formed idea, but I think to me, that's kind of what the message of the movie was. I also didn't really get that message though until the very end of the movie. So it's not like it wasn't during the movie. I was wondering what is it about. It was kind of at the end, like, oh, maybe this is what it's about.
Gotcha.
James, I think Zach
during the movie, did you have a different theory, or like you just weren't asking that question?
I mean, during the movie, I was wondering more of like, is this purgatory?
Okay.
Like I was wondering, are they dead? But part of me thought, I don't think we're getting an explanation. I don't think this movie wants to tell us why they're here. So
I think that was generally my experience the first the first viewing too. I don't think I didn't know the movie was gonna like have kind of this, you know, broader thing at the end of it.
Sure.
But as the movie goes on, this is one of the things I love about it too. The movie presents like a horror thriller at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where it starts off like a zombie movie.
Right, people in the woods running out and screaming.
And they will tear you apart, essentially. And that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but like your experience with movies prior just kind of fill in the blanks that's what you're watching. And then as the movie goes on, it just kind of dispels all of those assumptions about the movie. Like every time I think I understood what this was, then it just kind of changed. And then halfway through the movie, it kind of becomes like this weird comedy where they're driving down the road and, you know, there's some character building, but also people are, at least 2 out of 3 of the people in the car are really enjoying themselves at this point on some level. And then over time, the idea of like the other people that come out of the woods, that threat just kind of melts away and they don't really explain it. And then at the end of the movie, you kind of think about it in reverse and you understand why the threat is so intense at the beginning of the movie and just non-existent at the end of the movie. And I thought that was just super clever and a little bit of like a Trojan horse for sure. It's one of those things where I when I try to sell this to people, because I think most people could see this movie, right? There's like a bunch of curse words, but other than that, there's nothing
really. Yeah.
A little bit of blood at the beginning, a little scary at the beginning, but nothing crazy. I forget what I was saying.
I think you're saying you could sell. What are your selling points if you're trying to recommend this movie to someone?
Depends on who you are. If you're into horror movies, I'm going to sell you that first 15 minutes and then let it burn, and you might hate me by the end of it because it's definitely not that movie. And if I'm selling it to somebody who I know doesn't like those movies, I'll be like, the movie's going to feel like those movies, and then it will not be that. I promise you. So I think in those, but I also think you can like horror movies and still like this movie, and you can dislike horror movies and still like this movie because the pieces fit together for the most part, even if some of them aren't, 100%, aka the young actors, I would say. Yeah, I forget where we were going with this, but I think generally I agree with Kyle.
Okay.
When it comes to what they were getting at in the story, I think just to elaborate on it, like these 4 people, they're very similar age, but they already have different life experiences, and thus they have different reasons to put one step in front of the other. You know what I mean? Move forward, essentially. And the way they react to the situation, I think, was interesting with the very little information that we got. It would have maybe been nice to have a little more debate on like what's actually happening here. I think generally there was like, they would introduce a concept of what this could be and then like immediately chop that off at the head, because I think the movie's probably not that interested in all those scenarios. So I understand why. But I think maybe it would have made that middle section feel a little more full with a little more debating.
I'd enjoy the speculation.
Yeah.
And the framing of the movie is about this, you have 50 hawks or, 5 gorillas thing. So there are clearly people that like speculating anyway. So
sure, yeah.
I would enjoy the discussion. Okay. So as far as what the road symbolizes, it sounds like we all agree that it just symbolizes life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? So like these are college students just about to start their adult life into the world, right? And they're on a road that just goes, and what are they going to do about it? Like it's going regardless of what they do. Like they can't take their foot off the pedal anymore.
And it's not a GPS or a map. You don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah
You don't, it's just in front of you. Yep.
It's kind of whatever you make it to be, and there's limitations you can't control, and it's going to happen regardless to you. So what are you going to do while it's going? I find that super fascinating, right? Because then you start thinking like, well, what is really different about their situation and all of ours? Like, what is the difference? Like in some ways, theirs is an easier situation than real life, because they don't have to sleep, they don't have to find resources in order to survive. Like the pressure of survival really is ebbing away as they are going further down this road. A lot of those stressors aren't there, but honestly, like their journey, I mean, is very similar to just real life in general, right? They are progressing forward. Maybe their job is sitting in a car rather than like doing an office job, but that's how they're spending their life, And then how do they deal with that sense of, this just keeps going and I don't really have a control over that. Like, how do I feel about this? What do I deal about that? That's why I really liked the middle two characters, the ones that like kind of got into it. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think I would be right where they are. I think I don't necessarily think that I would hate this. Like, I think I would be pretty comfortable with that reality once you kind of settle into it, because you're just hanging out with your friends and chatting, and you form your own little community,
If you had taken like pre-Sun James, I think I would have accepted it.
Oh yeah, this is me out of college. Right now, obviously.
Now you would be like, I have to get back to my family. Yeah. I think
I would love to see this premise with a family of 4, and that's who's in the car.
Sure. Yeah, just retell the same story with different characters.
Because being a parent, honestly, is a lot about like there's so much routine, and there's monotony of like you're doing the same things over and over, and like the kids are still young enough where they like haven't learned lessons yet, like it's not internalized. And so you feel like you're just saying the same things over and over, and like, you know what I mean? Like so parenthood would feel a lot like this, So it'd be interesting to see that movie too.
I think that's an interesting take. Like, what if it was a family? Because I mean, part of parenthood is like, I'm going to do the hard work now when they're young. I'm going to lay that groundwork of like this routine, of this repetition. So that way, when they're 10 and getting older, then I don't have to do so much of it anymore because we've already established this. And in this situation, I don't think those kids are going to age, right? I mean,
they won't.
So like, can you imagine being like, imagine your kids are their age forever.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's no progress. Like you are constantly having the same conversation over and over again.
Yeah.
Into eternity.
Plus the marriage aspect. A lot of marriages survive because the people don't spend a lot of time with each other. You know what I mean? And so what if like you're stuck with like your spouse, and at some point, like, do you decide to break up, but you're still on the road? Like it's just interesting ideas.
Yeah. So how do the people in the woods fit into this theory of this is the road of life? Because that's a disconnect that I saw, right? Like James said, they serve as a horror aspect at the beginning. And it's clearly people who have given up, right? Like they're just
I disagree. No, I definitely have a theory of mind on this.
There's some that have given up.
Okay,
but like,
cool.
At the beginning of the movie, these are people that are rabid to get back in a car because they have not given up.
Okay, yes. At the beginning, those people have not given up. You're right.
They have not. Yes. Anybody who runs out of the woods to come greet them at the car is looking to get back in a car because they have not given up. But they, at some point, turned off their car. And so they are desperate.
Like early on. Yeah.
Is it established you cannot turn your car off?
Pretty much.
Kind of. He does restart it through will of wanting to move forward again. Remember, he does shut it off. Actually, he doesn't shut it off. Somebody shuts it off for him.
Yeah,
so maybe that's the difference, is since he didn't shut it off, he was able to restart the car.
Okay.
I don't know. Because we don't see anybody else shut off their cars, so I don't know how they shut theirs
There
off.
is a sense of like there's something fateful happening in this movie. You know what I mean? Like there's a supernatural reality or something.
But as you go on and they encounter cars by the side of the road, people don't run out of the woods at them anymore because those people have made the choice themselves.
Yeah,
to turn off
they're
the car.
farther out. Okay.
Right.
So then how? Okay. Then how do the woods people fit into the metaphor? I guess that's my question.
Okay, so there's two types of woods people. Okay, there's the zombies and the sleepers. Okay,
yeah.
So I'll give my theory on both of them. Although I think we probably discussed the first one. So the people that run out at the cars, they're ones that like stopped their car early or crashed their car early.
Yeah,
and so never got a chance to know that the road is endless. They have been stuck in the woods for maybe 5 years and they probably seen 100 cars and they think they still have this belief that if they can get into a car, they can drive off the road. And like their only reason that they're stuck is because they don't have a car anymore and they can't get to the end of the road.
No. Oh yeah. No, I agree on like how they work. I'm trying to figure out we have this metaphor that the road is life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do the woods people, either those sleepers or the zombies, play into the metaphor? That's where my question is.
Sure.
They haven't given up on the idea of a destination being the goal.
Yes. These are the people that miss the point of what life is, right?
I gotcha. Okay.
So they are frantic to think that if they do something that they can control their future. And they don't understand that like there's so much out of their control.
Yep. Okay.
And then the sleepers are the people that have accepted the situation that they're in and found their peace with it and have made a decision of this is what I want to do with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to lay here.
Yep.
Now here's one thing I don't understand. Why don't these people just form a community and build a city and live a life? Like at a certain point, if they just built a city in the woods, they could, eventually have Walmarts and stuff. And like, it would be literally no different from our society.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering the same thing. Like if these people, because we don't know how long, I mean, obviously we see some cars seem to be from like the 70s, right? Or maybe the 60s.
Yeah. There was definitely like cars from American Graffiti at the end of the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this road has been here for a while, right? And we don't know how many people get trapped on this road, but it's been here long enough where people could have found others and formed community.
Mm-hmm.
That has never happened. It doesn't seem like that has happened.
I mean, not right off the edge of the road anyway.
Yeah, not at the edge of the road. Maybe
That's
perhaps
true.
deeper in. But yeah, I mean, essentially, like, I'm super interested in this premise of like, you don't get tired, you don't get hungry, you don't get thirsty, you don't get, like, that's really interesting. You just kind of are.
Yeah.
So much is possible when you like don't get tired. You know what I mean?
But I mean, there's also this aspect though where they don't change. Like Tyler, he does the same amount of push-ups every day. Like he's not getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like as much as you're like, yeah, wouldn't it be great to have endless time? What if it's endless time with no growth though? Like does your
no? But there is growth. There's emotional growth for sure.
Okay, so
we see that in James.
Okay, maybe it's emotional, maybe mental growth, but yeah. Okay.
I think you see it in everybody but Tyler, because Tyler goes up so early in the movie compared to the other ones. The two that voluntarily get out of the car and are left behind. I think they have discovered that like, I don't think they know that like there's no real rainbow at the end of this road, but they know that the only thing that's gotten them through this far is each other, and so that's really all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were just done with the car phase of that. Like finally getting out of the car was 100% fully accepting that doesn't matter to them anymore. And I think most of the sleepers have come to the same conclusion. They just don't. A lot of the I don't remember. Were all the sleepers alone, or were there groups of sleepers?
It seemed like most people in the woods were alone.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if those are just people that were in solo cars and they just didn't have somebody to bond with. And so when you finally make that decision, I mean, what is there left to do?
But lay down and just
at that point, you're probably just so depressed. The idea of like creating a society and stuff like that, you may have gone weeks without seeing another person on this road.
You really need other people, and that's what happens at the end of the movie. Is he picks up someone and says like, "Let's chat. I need someone else. I'm not ready to stop, but I do need someone to do this with."
Sure.
Yeah. Well, it's like his purpose in the movie. What was driving him was to see it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to the end and I think he's seeing the other cars there. Other people made choices at the end to just get out of their car and give up. He could have very easily just turned off the car and gone into the field and stared at the sky like other people would do. Instead, he was like, I haven't given up on people. I may have to give up on the destination, but the people, I'm going to go get one. And I'm going to befriend them and see if I can get the same thing that I left those two with. You know what I mean? And also, maybe his purpose is to help people. You know what I mean? Like I think part of it is a little bit of selfish. I need somebody to talk to. But also, I think there might be some small implication that like this is his new purpose, is to gather people, get them talking, and maybe part 2 is create a society. I don't know.
Yeah.
Zach, what does David do in the Bible? Is this a biblical character?
King David, he kills Goliath and becomes king, and
that's the same David.
Sleeps with Bathsheba, and
there's no David. I don't know where you're getting that.
Yeah, David and no,
in
wait,
the movie.
James. Oh, sorry. I keep thinking. What does James do in the Bible? For whatever reason, I'm convinced this guy's name is David.
Sure. There is a character named Day. The girl character is named Day.
Maybe that's what I'm getting it from.
Yeah.
So, okay. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, James. What does James do in the Bible?
James, the brother of Jesus.
Yeah.
He was the head of the church in Jerusalem.
Wait, Jesus had a brother?
Yeah. Lots of brothers.
Well, half brother, right? Technically.
Yeah. Half brother.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. And he was the head of the church in Jerusalem, and he wrote a book of the Bible.
I'm not sure there's a lot of parallels. Though,
okay,
I'm the main character of this
I'm reaching
movie.
here, so
that I can think of anyway.
How about the Apostle Fisher? What did he do in the Bible? So.
He was a fisher of men.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned the acting before, and I would say most of the acting didn't bother me.
It's fine.
It felt a little amateurish at times, except who's the first guy? Tyler. I did not like that guy's choice whatsoever.
That he gave up real early?
No. The acting choice of he's like, I'm kind of the soft-spoken Southern one. Why is he Southern? Like, if these are best friends from high school. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that was his choice, or that was the director's direction.
I thought Dave was the best actor.
Yeah. I thought the Tyler choice was like kind of annoying, and so when he left the car, I'm like, I'm fine with that guy leaving the car now. So
yeah, I thought the middle two were probably the best.
Agreed.
They felt the most normal. The first guy is just kind of brooding, so it's hard to, just very motivated and brooding.
Yep.
But he did, when he gets to the end and realizes, I got here, but this wasn't the point of why I'm here. I do love that, like, he yells, he eats the kind bar. He's like, when he eats the kind bar, he's like, I could have done this the entire time.
I've been deprived myself of living.
Right. I think there's some micro reflections going on there where he's just like, I've deprived myself of everything to get to the end here, including my friends.
He couldn't have eaten that kind bar the whole time. There's just one.
But at any moment he could have eaten it, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just depriving himself in pursuit of the goal or the unknown. Like, he didn't know what would happen if he ate the kind bar, so they didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Remember, at some point in the movie, they talk about how they all agreed not to change things that they came into the car with.
Yep.
Because they just don't know what's going to affect things. And then shortly after he eats that kind bar is when I think maybe he makes the decision that this isn't the end for him.
Yeah. Well, it's at the very end of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I'm curious to know, because I was thinking about this last night, if the movie had ended with the end of the road and not had the scene of him picking up a guy and talking to him, and they reintroduced the discussion about the 50 Hawks, would it have ruined the movie for you guys?
I think it would have made it more nihilistic, and I don't think I would have gotten the message of like it's the journey, not the destination.
You think it would have been distracting if they hadn't given you a little more?
Right. Yeah, it would have been like, oh, you're rooting for this guy, and nope, it ends here, and then credits. You're like, oh, okay, that's depressing.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at the movie, but it would end with one of the four characters with being so angry at the end of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I think he was. I think the yelling is part of
that. Oh, yeah, no, he was.
And then the kind bar right after that is like him kind of reevaluating after finally releasing all that emotion.
Yeah. One thing we've alluded to, but the movie starts and ends with a discussion on this question, and I do want to guys get your answer. The question is, you have two things defending you and two things attacking you. The choices are 50 hawks, 5 gorillas, 1 man with a gun, and 10,000 rats.
Correct.
What are the two you pick to defend you, and what are the two you pick to attack you? And what's interesting is I remembered this dilemma. I had seen this on the internet.
Yeah.
Before, although in an expanded form. I think the movie simplified it for the sake of the movie. But the actual one that I'd seen on the internet also had 10 crocodiles, 3 bears, 15 wolves, 7 buffalo, and 4 lions. And so you would pick 2, and all of the others would be attacking you.
Yeah.
And is this like a simulation? Like they would actually play it out? Or
No, it's just
it's just a thought experiment.
In the same way as in the movie. I do think with having many more animals attacking you, it's a harder decision.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I do have an answer for this. I'm curious if you guys have an answer for it with the one presented in the movie.
I mean, I was thinking about this throughout the movie. I would not choose guy with a gun. That's one person. They have one weapon.
Correct.
Too easy to be overwhelmed.
Yes, absolutely.
So person with gun, totally out. Then it's tough because like 10,000 rats is a lot of rats.
Yes.
So I think I want the rats on my side.
Yeah, I agree. Otherwise, they're against me.
Exactly. Now the question is, do I want the hawks or the gorillas? And even though 50 hawks is a lot of hawks, I mean, it was 5 gorillas.
Is 5 gorillas.
I mean, 5 gorillas are pretty strong. Now, I'm not sure how you can get the hawks that are up. The hawks have to come down eventually to like attack, right? So I think I would take the 10,000 rats and the 5 gorillas with the idea of like if a gorilla hits a hawk and knocks it down, then the rats can probably swarm it. And
so the two you pick get along, right? They coordinate.
Yeah, they fight.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man with a gun. I mean, the
rats take him out.
He might kill a gorilla. I might lose a gorilla.
He might shoot a gorilla. I don't know if
shoot
he's
a gorilla.
Kill it.
Yeah.
Depends on what gun he has. If it was an elephant gun.
I mean, the picture that they showed was just like a guy with like a hunting rifle.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm 100% with you, Kyle. I'm going rats and gorillas.
Yeah.
Now the hawks, I mean, it's going to be something to have to deal with, right? But I would rather have 5 gorillas on my side than have hawks protecting me from 5 gorillas.
Yes. Right.
Like, yeah.
James, did you think about this?
I mean, what you guys are saying makes sense, and as somebody who didn't really think about it, I'm going to agree with you guys because I can't. What were the other options? There's the hawks, the rats,
10,000 rats, guy with a gun, 50 hawks, or 5 gorillas.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be because you guys explained it very well as to why you would pick those, the gorillas and the rats, but that makes sense to me.
That's very.
I mean, I think the man with the gun's out of here for sure. The hawks are the only one that maybe, but I don't think. What kind of hawks are we talking about here?
Like a red tail, like just a standard hawk, like a. A medium-sized bird of prey.
You want to hear something crazy? The other night, I was walking my dog. It was like 1 a.m, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking my dog. We're going to the same signpost we go to every night on like the last walk of the night, right? So Leo can pee in the exact same spot or whatever. Get to this signpost. Of course, I have earbuds in because I'm listening to who knows what.
Cinereelists, probably.
And all of a sudden, I hear the dunk. And I look to my right, and like 2 feet away from me is just this ball of like feathers and screeching. Okay. And I was like, what? I like couldn't vocalize like how surprised I was. And I was like trying to process what I'm actually looking at. Cause it's 1 a.m. It's very dark out. And then I realize it's a squirrel that pretty sure it was a hawk. I don't think it was an owl, had got the squirrel and then for some reason fallen out of the tree all the way to the ground
with the squirrel.
And the squirrel is the one that's screeching. And the hawk looks at me, releases the squirrel, and flies away.
You made eye contact with the hawk?
Oh, I mean, it felt like eye contact. The hawk
yeah.
definitely looked at me and was like, "I'm out of here."
Wow.
Because why would it release the? You know what I mean?
How did it seem like formidable? Like if it wanted to attack you, would that be fatal, annoying?
It wouldn't have been fatal. It wasn't. It was the size of a hawk. That's like maybe 3 or 4 times the size of a squirrel. So like it wasn't a humongous 9-foot wingspan hawk or whatever.
Like condor or something.
So I don't think it ever considered, can I take this thing?
Yeah.
Looking at me, I think it probably was like, I don't know what that is, and I'm out of here, or that's not my food, and I gotta go. I don't know why it didn't just take the squirrel and run, because I wasn't stopping it, that's for sure. But it didn't know that. This has nothing to do with anything other than
it's a great story though. It's a really good story.
Other than I saw a hawk and it kind of freaked me out. I also heard a story once. Kevin Smith told this story about he was out at his pool, right? He lets his dogs out in the morning to go to the bathroom. So he's out at his pool, he's letting his dogs out in the backyard. They're going to the bathroom, and an owl showed up. This is like first thing in the morning. An owl showed up and would not leave him and his dog alone, like was dive bombing them and like attacking them over and over. And he basically had to take the pool bar and smash the owl until it died.
Oh my God.
For it to stop attacking them. And that has been burned into my brain ever since. When I walk the dog, I try to be somewhat aware of my surroundings, because I know, like, I have a little tiny chihuahua. An owl could at any time decide, like, I'm getting that thing. And then I will have to find a leaf stick for a pool and like beat it to death.
He walks around with it.
Yeah. But I'd never heard that before.
Yeah.
Like an owl being so, like, he said he repeatedly hit it to try to get it to go away. It would not go away. He had to like literally kill it to get it to stop. Anyway.
Have I asked you guys the owl question?
No. I don't think, not me. Maybe you asked Zach, but I don't know.
The question is, how many owls would you need to see within 24 hours to start being concerned?
So like you're seeing them in the daytime as well?
It does. How many in a 24-hour span? Once you saw X amount of owls, would you start to wonder, what's going on? Why am I seeing so many owls? Like at what point? At what number of owls will you start to question?
2.
Why am I seeing so many owls?
2.
Really? No. Okay, that's
wait. I have a couple questions.
You can't give a wrong answer, James, because it's always going to be true for you and me.
Yeah, there's no wrong
I do have
answer.
a couple questions.
Sure.
Am I seeing them in the same place or totally different places?
I would say you're just different places just throughout the day.
Then 2.
2. Okay. If you saw 2 owls in a 24-hour period, you start to wonder what is going on here.
If I saw a tree and there were 2 owls in it, I wouldn't second guess it for a second. If I saw 1 owl in a tree and then like an hour later I saw a totally different owl generally in the same spot, wouldn't second guess it. If I saw 1 owl in a tree and then drove to Georgia but was in Atlanta proper in downtown and I saw another owl, I'd be like, what is going on here?
Okay.
Because I almost never see one owl and now I've seen two in one day. That would cause me to question.
How about in a normal day for you? Like you're not driving to Atlanta. Like just
Sure.
it's a normal Tuesday. You're going through your routine. I don't know how many owls you have in Florida, so I guess,
Then two.
Okay.
Depending on the situation, again, if they were in the same tree or at the same
Sure,
time.
if they're next to each other. Yeah.
I think I assume there's no odd situation. It's just you're walking around like, oh, there's an owl. And then a couple hours later, like, oh, there's an owl.
Yeah.
That's really the point of the scenario.
Yeah.
Kyle, can you define for me more of like being concerned or like what thought am I having in my head? Because that matters to me, my answer.
I guess maybe it could be twofold. I guess number one would be, at what point would you clock, this is an abnormally a large amount of owls to see in one day, right? And then
2 would be that number because the most I've ever seen is one day.
Sure. And then at what number would you be like, this is a lot of owls I've seen in one day. Like, why am I seeing so many owls?
I don't think I'd be concerned at 2, but like 5, I'd be like, and I'm generally not moving very much, but they all seem to be showing up.
Showing up at you, outside your window.
If I'm not at
that
the
would
zoo,
be like something's weird.
Well, yeah. Not this. I'm just this is a normal day.
No, sure. I think at 4 owls, I'd be like, I am seeing a lot of owls today. Why is that? But I'm still not concerned. I think a more interesting question is, when are you frightened by how many
maybe
owls
frightened is a better
day?
word. Yeah.
And I would start to be frightened if I saw 28 owls.
28.
That's a very specific number.
Wait, 28 at once or 28 separately,
through the
or
course
does it
of
matter?
a day.
So I mean, that's one owl every like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You'd be frightened. Oh, that's a very specific number.
I would. It more than one an hour. And this is going, I see an owl maybe once a month. Okay. To going to see one an hour, and I know these are separate owls. It does start to feel like maybe owls are starting to rebel.
You would not feel frightened before. You need a full day of owls to feel frightened, is what you're saying.
At 16, here's the thing. At 16 owls, I'm thinking, well, there's some ecological thing happening. Like there's an owl migration or something.
Sure. the famous owl migration we all hear about.
Yes. There's a forest fire 500 miles away or something.
Well, yeah, like concerned would be like once I hit like half dozen owls, I'd be calling Zach and being like, dude, do you have a bunch of owls around?
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't have owls around, I'd be like, that's weird. Maybe like there's a nesting area around me that I didn't know about or something like that. And then if the day continued and it just got ramped up and up, then I would start being frightened. But I'd probably do some investigation that you could consider concern,
James,
but not fright.
If you saw 50 owls in one day,
mm-hmm.
and then you called me up, what would be scarier for you?
Mm-hmm.
If I had seen no owls that day?
No owls.
Or if I had also seen 50 owls?
No owls.
I think it'd be scary if there's no owls. Yeah.
Really?
Because that means they're targeting.
Because I could easily just not be where you are. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't necessarily mean they're targeting you. But if I'm also seeing 50 owls and everyone's seeing 50 owls, that's a lot of owls.
Right, but we're all in the same boat. It's not a me thing; it's a owl thing.
Right. It would be like if your neighborhood everyone starts getting sick. Right. If your neighbor gets sick, and then you call up Zach and be like, dude, my neighbor's got this illness, and Zach's like, what are you talking about? I think I'd be more freaked out. Why is it so localized here?
Yeah.
How many owls would you have to see in a day to be convinced that you will die by owl? None of them are threatening you.
Sure. I think if I'm still seeing individual owls, I'm not as concerned. Once I start seeing groups of owls,
right,
then there's like, okay, like they're organizing. They're watching.
Groups are okay. What's the number for you are fairly convinced that you will die by owl?
I mean, having like a mild owl phobia, thanks to Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I would say a dozen.
If you saw 12 owls in a day, you are assuming.
I'm not assuming that I'm going to die. I am concerned
that you will die. By owl.
that something I thought was not really in the books is possible. Sure.
If I start seeing like owls on the hour, and then they start grouping, once I think I see a group of 3 owls, then there's a real heightened concern of my life is in danger. Like, why are there 3? Like, how when have you ever seen owls group together? Like, they're such solitary creatures.
So are you saying at like 40 owls, you're calling your wife and saying, I think I'm going to die by owl?
Wait, what, by 40?
I wouldn't think I'm gonna die by owl until like they actually start attacking. me.
Yeah, I think
I'm not really that concerned.
At
If
6,000
owls are just
owls, I'm
doing their
assuming
own
I'm
thing.
going to die owl related. At 6,000 owls.
I'm gonna say once the owls start following me, then I'm convinced.
Oh, they're
I'm gonna
definitely
die.
following you at this point.
Just
Yeah, like
stay
if
inside.
if I
It's
just
not
see them
that
in the
hard.
trees, I'll be like, okay, well, there's no owl in the tree. That's weird. But like, if I'm walking by an owl and then it takes off and flutters and lands next to me again,
They're standing outside your window just looking in.
exactly.
But like there's like 80 of them at your windows.
yep. Then like I'm gonna die by owl.
Yeah,
here.
you flush your toilet and it like comes up owls.
just down and coming out of there.
You just stay inside and order Uber Eats. It's fine.
I've
I
never
did have a
ordered
cool.
Uber Eats.
No?
I did have a cool kayaking experience. I was kayaking in northern Wisconsin. I was with a group of friends. We all kind of spread out. So I was sort of on this river by myself. And as I'm kayaking, I see a bald eagle up in the trees. And as I go past it, and then it takes off and it flies across the river just ahead of me to another group of trees and sits there. And I pass it and it does the same thing. And this happens like half a dozen times where I pass this bald eagle and it would just fly over me and go to the tree in front of me. And like at the moment, I was like, I don't think it's hunting me. I'm not sure what it's doing. It's following me for some reason. But it was a really cool experience to
It's
be
awesome.
like, I think me and this eagle are having a moment here.
I
So
love
you ever
that.
been to Alaska?
Never been to Alaska. No.
I've only been there once. I saw so many bald eagles. It was
Sure, yeah.
insane. It's like
That's fun.
you never see them for the most part here in Florida. You never.
There's 2 that live in my neighborhood.
Really? So
Yeah, I
you
see 'em
get to see them.
About once every 2 weeks, maybe.
Nice. Are you concerned?
James,
that
were
they
you
might be
concerned about all
murdering
these
you in the
bald eagles
future?
you saw flying around?
No, one of
No.
them was within like 20 feet of me though.
Really?
I wasn't concerned, but my parents brought their Shih Tzu that they had at the time up to
Oh, that dog should be
Alaska.
concerned. Yeah.
And my cousin who lived in Alaska was like, you need to keep a very close eye on your dog.
Yep.
Like basically, unless he's going to sit in your lap, you should not have that
Yep.
dog out here because there's just way too many predators
Smart.
that dog is. There's a reason why nobody has small dogs in Alaska.
You're right. Yeah.
Do you guys know what the fastest animal is?
I want to say
Um,
cheetah, but I think that's wrong. I think at one point,
Well, are we talking? Are we just talking like top speed?
Yes.
Is it the hippo?
no, come on.
Okay.
They're fast
they're
for what
fast,
they are,
though.
but they're not.
Okay.
They're not like cheetah or.
Is it the ostrich?
No, although they are fast.
Yeah.
The fastest animal. Now, James, the cheetah is the fastest land animal.
I was wondering.
Gotcha.
I was thinking water. Yeah. What's the next?
At
or-
71 miles per hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fastest animal is the peregrine falcon.
Is it okay? Is it when it dive bombs
Yeah,
though?
when it dive bombs,
okay.
it dive bombs at like 200 miles per hour.
Sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Kyle somehow thinks that's cheating or something, but
I mean, it's kind of using gravity.
yes, to achieve a faster speed.
I know, but I guess I'm more impressed by an animal that's running like perpendicular to gravity, or swimming, or flying perpendicular to gravity. Like you are having to fight the forces of nature to maintain your speed.
Sure.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. You guys ready to get into the list?
Yeah. And can I suggest?
Yeah.
We don't have to go into long explanations.
Sure,
of these
sure.
movies.
No.
I think
a
that's-
lot of the ones on my list are certainly movies I've talked about before, so I'm good.
Yeah.
And also, we've put them in a list that is pretty specific, but also not really about the quality of the movie.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Let me model my vision for this for the speed that we can go through this.
Please.
My number 10, all of my movies are exactly 90 minutes. My number 10 is a movie we talked about a lot. It's Breathless from 1960. It is a French New Wave crime film, and it's great. And if you want to hear us talk about it, we have an episode on it. Breathless. My number 10.
I'll go next. My list is also comprised of exactly 90-minute movies, according to Wikipedia and cross-checked by Google, but potentially still wrong. So just want to caveat that. My number 10 is from 2012. It's Paranorman, which is a claymation movie from Laika Studios. It's a little scary, but not too crazy. I think it's a PG movie. And I love Laika films, and I really enjoyed Paranorman, rather. Paranorman. My number 10. And 90 minutes.
Guys, I made a new list during the show.
Yeah, okay.
So my list is also movies that are all exactly 90 minutes.
Nice.
According to Letterboxd, I've not cross-checked these.
All right.
Because I made it really quick. And yeah, my number 10 is Blue Ruin from 2013. This is a movie that James had me watch on one of our Hey, watch a movie from your watch list episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed this movie about sort of someone who's bad at the thing they want to do.
Yeah, sure.
And it's if you want to see sort of a loser trying to do something, this is a good movie of that in that case. It's a bit violent too, FYI.
My number 9 is a documentary from 2017. It's called AlphaGo. And you know how chess, like computers could beat humans at chess for a long time?
Yeah.
Go was considered one that would be like very hard to impossible for a computer to beat a human because it's so much more complicated than chess. But it's about humans versus AI in the game Go. And this is from 2017. So it's like before AI became a hype word or anything like that. And it's super good. So it's called AlphaGo.
Nice. My number 9 is from 1982. It's Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is a like coming of age comedy drama directed by Amy Heckerling. It has a bunch of kind of classic performances, specifically from Sean Penn. That's who most people point to when they talk about this movie. And I don't need to say much about Fast Times at Ridgemont High that hasn't already been said.
My number 9 is a found footage sci-fi movie from 2013 called Europa Report. It's about a group of astronauts who are traveling to a moon of Jupiter, looking for Europa be the moon, looking for life under the ice of the moon. And like I said, it's all told via found footage of like their cameras and their surveillance system in the spaceship, and it's sort of an interesting take on the sci-fi genre.
I've been meaning to watch that.
I have seen that movie. Don't remember a frame of it. Gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, it's I would say, Zach, it's a movie where the journey is more than the destination.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On from 2021. This is an odd, sweet little movie about a shell with one eye and a really kid voice. And it's just a very, if you liked Babe, it has the same kind of sensibility as the movie Babe, which is like cute and sweet and maybe poignant and, kooky. So Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
It's a good one. Did not make my list, but it was a contender for sure. My number 8 is the aforementioned Blue Ruin from 2013. Love that movie. It's a revenge movie told from an interesting protagonist, I guess he is in the movie. Yeah, just an unlikely revenge movie that I thought was very well executed. And that's why it's my number 8. Also nice and short. 90 minutes. Exactly.
You guys, my number 8 is also 90 minutes. Who would have known? This is a 2010 documentary by Werner Herzog called Cave of Forgotten Dreams. He has access to some of the oldest cave paintings in the world in a cave in France. And does a great job of highlighting them. And I really think this movie is best summed up by the Letterboxd tagline, which is humanity's lost masterpiece in 3D. Check it out.
Okay, my number 7 is probably the most like the movie we reviewed today. It is Palm Springs from 2020. This is a Groundhog Day film starring Andy Samberg, where he repeats the day over and over. What's unique about it is two people are repeating the day over and over. And it's clever, well done, funny. I enjoy it. It's kind of I think it could be a modern classic of the simple sci-fi genre, and I like it. Palm Springs, my number 7.
My number 7 is from 2015. It's another stop motion movie. This one titled Anomalisa, directed by Charlie Kaufman, or co-directed by him and Duke Johnson, whoever that is. Great movie. It's a weird one. It's definitely not a stop motion for the kids. It's a movie that probably could have just been standardly shot, but instead they made it stop motion, and it just gives it a kind of a otherworldly feeling while also trying to present itself as grounded as possible, which is just kind of like a strange presentation that I think makes the movie more interesting to watch for sure. My number 7.
Puppets?
I don't remember. Are they puppets or stop motion that were executed?
Anomalisa, right?
I don't think it. Did I say claymation? I don't think it's clay.
No, I thought they were puppets, like marionettes.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Adult animated. It says animated.
Well, yeah, it's such a.
So if it was puppets, I don't think it would be animated though.
Maybe maybe it was stop motion. I thought it was marionettes, like Team America style, but I could be wrong. So.
I think it's stop motion, but not clay.
So it could be like felt puppets or something like that. Okay, I'll accept that.
I think that's right.
My number 7 is a 1975 movie called Dolomite. This is a blaxploitation movie that objectively is not a good movie. But if you go into it as like a relic of the era and this example of this type of filmmaking, it's incredibly enjoyable. So it's different, but check it out, Dolomite.
I certainly considered Dolomite because that is a fun movie to watch.
We watched that together, didn't we?
We did. Yeah,
that was a great watch.
Yeah. My number 6 is Serendipity. This is the romantic comedy from 2001 starring John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. And I think for a very long time, this is the movie I would say is my favorite romantic comedy. It is about two people that are fated to be together, and it's really fun and romantic and well acted, and I like Serendipity quite a bit, which I think is a significant amount.
Quite a lot.
I mean, this is pretty serendipitous because I was fated to love my number 6, 2000's Best in Show. How do you like that transition?
Wow.
That was the best transition in the show.
The best in this show. Yeah, for sure. This is a movie from the year 2000. It's a mockumentary, Christopher Guest mockumentary. And I think my favorite of his, I think I've said that on this show. If not, currently in my brain as it exists right now, it's my favorite Christopher Guest movie. It's got all the regulars in here. This is the one I enjoy the most. And I've rewatched it over and over. It's kind of like a comfort movie for me at this point. If you haven't seen it yet, check out Best in Show.
If I was making this list earlier today, I probably would have caught Best in Show, but since I was making it between conversation on It Ends, I missed that one. So instead, my number 6 is Viridiana. This is a 1961 Louis Buñuel movie. I feel like he's come up recently a lot in this podcast. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's an hour and 31 minutes.
According to Letterboxd, it is 90 minutes. And that's what I'm going by.
Yeah. So. Unfortunately, it's an hour and 31.
Okay, well, not by my sources. My alternative facts say 90 minutes.
Yeah. Your surface level facts.
I made this. Would you like me to try to make the list, or should I just go rogue like I did before? Which one do you want?
Yeah, if those are my only two options, instead of you doing the list correctly, as discussed.
Okay. Like many Buñuel films, this movie is about great. It's about class. It's about charity. I believe there's a strong religious or maybe anti-religious message throughout this movie.
One or the other.
I believe it was anti-religious specifically, but I really enjoyed this movie. I like Buñuel for the most part, and this is a really well shot and interesting one to watch.
Nice. My number 5 is a documentary called A Map for Saturday. It is from 2007, and it is about backpacking culture, specifically like people that take 6 months or a year and travel the world. And it's a documentary where he just, talks about that and interviews people who are also doing it. And I loved watching it. It made me, it fueled my wanderlust and made me want to get on the road. So I liked it a lot. A Map for Saturday. Very low budget.
Nice. My number 5 is the oldest movie on my list by quite a bit. It's 1960s Eyes Without a Face.
Oh, yeah. That's 90 minutes. Nice.
Well, so I've been spot checking as I've been going through them, as we've been going through them. And this one definitely says 90 minutes on Letterboxd. But then when I put it in Google, it says the 1960 horror film Eyes Without a Face has a runtime of 90 minutes, though some cuts and streaming platforms list alternate lengths between 84 and 88 minutes due to frame rate differences or regional edits.
Oh, wow.
So I'd like to propose that maybe it ends is 90 minutes and it's a frame rate difference.
Yeah, because we're definitely dealing with frame rate issues.
I'm just saying, you never know. We're only talking like 29 seconds, or was it 59 seconds?
59 seconds.
59 seconds.
Didn't you guys watch it at 23 frames per second?
Well, James,
Like he intended?
to be honest, I can't think of a frame rate that would add 29 seconds over the course of an hour and a half. Unfortunately.
Yes, you can. You can do the math. You can figure if it's
No.
if at 24 frames per second it is this minute. then
I'm
you can
very
just-
familiar with the math, and all the commonly used frame rates would not do that.
Sure.
Was this a common movie? Wow, Zach calling it ends a common movie.
But besides all that, Eyes Without a Face, I don't like old movies for the most part, right? We've figured that out.
Unless they're heightened.
Unless they're heightened or they don't feel like a stage play. Eyes Without a
Sure,
Face
yeah.
definitely does not feel like a stage play in my memory. And I thought it was a good horror movie that people continue to talk about, and that's for good reason. It's very well made, and I wouldn't say I was scared by it, but it was creepy and disturbing in all the right ways for a 1960 movie, for sure. Eyes Without a Face. I enjoyed it. And it's short.
My number 5 is a 2024 movie. This is the Oscar-winning A Real Pain, directed by Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin play two cousins who are traveling through Poland in honor of their recently deceased grandmother. And Kieran Culkin plays this character who we all know in real life, who is like both everyone's best friend and the most insufferable guy you could be around. And he won an Oscar for this role, and I think he deserved that completely because he brought that character completely to life.
Nice. My number 4 is the oldest film on my list, but it's from 1924. It's called The Last Laugh, and it's directed by F.W. Murnau. And this is a story about a guy who's a doorman, and he takes a lot of pride in the fact that he has this prestigious job where he wears a fancy outfit and that kind of thing. Then he gets fired, and he cannot bear the shame of telling his neighborhood that he no longer has this job, and so he pretends to go to work every day. And it's a really, really great silent film. I don't recommend it for James because I think you would have to have a basic tolerance of silent films in order to enjoy this film. But if you do have that, I think it's a great one. Really good visuals, really good acting, and it's poignant. And it's called The Last Laugh.
Nice. My number 4 is from 1989. I'm curious. I can't imagine I'm the only one that has this on my list.
No,
But we'll see.
I have it too.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. is
Yeah, it's a
apparently
bingo.
exactly 90 minutes.
It's a bingo, actually, James.
Nice.
It's my number 3.
That's a bingo.
Well,
It's your number 4?
yeah, no, it's my number 3. Sorry.
Oh,
I like it one more than you.
you definitely do. I mean, we don't have to talk about Bill and Ted. The people that love it, and the people that don't, at this point, don't care anyway. So there you go. Not to be morose about this, but Kyle.
Oh yeah, so I didn't know he had more to say. I was gonna let James
I
trail
could
for
talk
a
about
while.
Bill and Ted all day, but
My number 4 is the previously mentioned Palm Springs. Yeah, this is a great Groundhog Day style movie. And Zach, I think you're right. I think if this movie had come out not during the pandemic, this would be a classic. If this had a chance to like get a theater release and grow a little bit as a movie, but it unfortunately did not get that. If you haven't seen it though, you gotta check it out.
Yeah. Well, my number 3 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
nice. My number 3 is Strange Brew from 1983, aka The Adventures of Bob and Doug McKenzie, Strange Brew. Have you guys seen Strange Brew?
Isn't this like a Canadian movie?
Yeah, it's a Canadian comedy from the early 80s.
It's like Dave Thomas and
Dave Thomas.
the other
and
guy.
The other guy.
Rick Moranis.
Yes, Rick
Yeah.
Moranis.
Yeah.
Can't believe you pulled Dave Thomas before Rick Moranis.
I
That's
honestly
crazy.
made a Dave Thomas reference earlier today. That's so he was just sitting in the back of my head. Yeah.
How many Dave Thomas references would you have to hear in a day until you're concerned?
Like if I made
From
only
separate
Dave
people.
Thomas references, you'd be like,
no, other people keep bringing it up to you.
Oh, I think I would say if I was getting one Dave Thomas reference an hour, I'd be like, what's going on with Dave Thomas today? Like, did he die?
If you Google him and there's nothing.
Yeah.
How,
Then
how many
I'd be,
until you think there's a conspiracy of your friends?
well, so if it was just like you guys making Dave
it's
Thomas,
anyone in your life. It could be coworkers, someone at the grocery store, but you think my friends have put people up to this.
I mean, if it's within a close circle, I could see that. If it's like the clerk at the grocery store, I'm like, well, my friends didn't get to the cashier.
Yeah,
So-
how would you predict that?
Exactly. So yeah, so I would say I'd be more concerned if I was being gaslit by like my circle of friends than the world. So
let's say it was spread out enough that there's no chance somebody like orchestrated this, that there's something other that's going on. How many would it take before you were like, this is not just weird?
I think once I started saying to people like, like that's the 10th Dave Thomas reference I've heard today, and they're just all like, really? Like if no one else was clocking that Dave Thomas was in the daily conversation, I started to think this is really weird. Why am I noticing this?
It would take 10.
I think it would take less than that.
Yeah, it would take
if I had like
4.
3 or 4 totally separate people who
random
like do
people.
not integrate, by the 4th I'd be like, what is going on?
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. I guess not really. I thought about the owl one a lot. I haven't really thought about the Dave Thomas question
Right,
yet.
right.
So
The Dave Thomas corollary.
yeah, that's gonna be my next rotation.
Anyway, if you haven't seen Strange Brew, you should definitely check it out. You guys didn't answer. Have you guys seen Strange Brew?
I have not seen Strange
No.
Brew. No.
Oh, the next time we force each other to watch things, you guys are watching Strange
And-
Brew.
On
Can
my
I just
watch list.
clarify?
Sorry.
Are we talking about Dave Thomas, the actor, or Dave Thomas from Wendy's?
The actor.
The actor.
Yeah. And I can't wait for Spaceballs 2 just because I want to see Rick Moranis come back. But to be honest, I think Spaceballs 2 is going to bomb. I think it's not going to be. I mean, the original Spaceballs, if you released it today, it would not do. It's a nostalgia movie at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure you're going to be able to recreate. We'll see. Maybe they make fun of the new Star Wars in ways that tickle me. But I'm not sure a parody of Star Wars can do much for me, even if it's the old crew and all
I
that.
think it's gonna be a lot of references to the first movie, like Home in the Desert and Dark.
They already did that though. They have to do something different, right?
I don't know. I mean, I want to be wrong.
Right.
I think it's gonna be a lot of references to the first movie.
But if it's just a pure nostalgia play for the first movie, I don't think that's gonna.
yeah, all right,
It's gonna do what the
All right,
first movie.
where are
did.
we at? Where
we're
we
on
at?
me. My number 3 is Paprika from 2006. This is a Japanese animated film about a machine that starts to have the population group dream together, essentially. And there's one woman named Paprika who must enter this dream world to free people from it. It's really well done, really cool animation. And some people claim that Inception ripped this movie off, which I would disagree with.
I need to see that one. That's been on my watch list for probably a decade plus at this point.
It's worth it.
I need to check it out. Zach?
My number 2 is barely a movie. It is Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself.
I consider this, yep.
It is a magic performance. But it's artfully done enough that I think it is more of a documentary. I don't know what it is. It's a live performance.
It's a documentary of live performance, but
Yes.
it has a story. There is a narrative to it.
Right. And I think as a spectacle, it is definitely worth a watch. It is a fascinating hour and a half worth your time. And I liked it quite a bit.
I don't think it's a documentary. I think it's just the taping of a live performance.
No, because it's not one performance. There's definitely, they cut multiple performances in there, and there's more to the performance than just like the showmanship. There's something deeper to it, and I think that's
I mean,
what
if
pushes it
if
over.
you saw a videotaped one person play, you could get that too, and you would not call that a documentary. It's just a videotaped one person play.
Yeah, but I do think that Derek Delgadio is trying to. There is I don't know. Maybe the fact that there's a message to his performance is what pushes it over for me.
I would say
James,
most magic shows don't have a message, so I would agree with that. Yes,
but James, I think the definition of documentary film is broad enough that I don't know if you could come up with a definition that's not just like a nonfiction film that presents information. You know what I mean?
It documents something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, what is a documentary film, James?
That's the ultimate question. Like if I go to a concert, right, and I hold up my cell phone and I record the concert from one side to the end, is that a documentary?
It's a documentary of something that happened. It may not be an interesting
think that's
documentary. Why not? Documentary doesn't mean it has to be well made or well produced or interesting. Like there's lots of uninteresting things out there. You're still documenting something that happens.
I think it's
agree.
closer.
It's just
it's
a
closer
recording
to
of a performance. Well,
James, but it's closer to a documentary if you then edit that and from multiple cameras, multiple days. You're right. It gets closer to a documentary.
Is The Last Waltz a documentary or is it a concert performance?
I haven't seen that movie. I don't know, but if I saw a music documentary that had no behind the scenes footage, I wouldn't consider that a documentary.
So it needs talking heads?
It needs, if it's just a video recording, even if it's fully edited or shot on film or whatever.
Can you just define documentary for me?
No, I can't. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to figure out in my brain is where the line is.
Okay. Have you seen Honeyland, James?
These kinds of things. I have seen Honeyland. Yeah.
There's no talking heads in there. There's no one explaining what's happening.
I don't need talking heads.
Okay.
I need real life presented.
So a concert's not real life being presented.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think when you're in performance mode, it's a version of real life. But I mean, most performers would say the person that they are on stage is not who they actually.
Yeah, but specifically
are.
with this in and of itself, the audience is themselves, and that they are a part of what makes this movie interesting.
Yeah, I would agree. I recently rewatched that with my parents who had never seen that, within the last year, and it held up. It's good.
Did they cry?
They did not cry.
Okay.
They were not as intrigued by it as I was. It's not that they didn't like it, but I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, that was cool," and then they moved on with their life. Probably never thought about it again. All right, my number 2, right? Isn't that what we're on? Me?
Yep.
Number 2 from 1985. Another movie I've talked at length about. I can't believe Zach doesn't love this movie. Pee-wee's Big Adventure from 1985. Exactly 90 minutes.
Oh, I missed that one also.
One of my favorites.
Man.
We're getting ready for our Ernest P. Worrell series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And someone on Letterboxd described Ernest as Mask Pee-wee.
Yeah, that that sounds about right.
Interesting. I could see it because they have like kind of similar comedic tics and stuff like that. Yeah. I can see it.
James, I can't remember how you said you vetted these, but Letterboxd says 91 minutes for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Hence why I left off my list.
Yeah. Wikipedia and then cross-referenced with Google.
Oh,
Did
all right,
not
well,
use
Google,
Letterboxd.
which probably just pulled it from Wikipedia. So.
Could be.
But my number 2, aforementioned Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice. So that's
our bingo.
That's a bingo.
The only movie that's on all 3 of our lists so far.
There's still a chance. We have our number 1s.
So far. Yeah.
Okay, my number 1, I don't think it'll be either of your number 1s, but it is a movie very close to my heart. It is Flight of the Navigator from 1986.
I want to know how many lists Flight of the Navigator has been on for you. I mean, I'm not criticizing it. I feel like that's a movie I never really thought about a whole lot until about 2014, and now it's just in my life, like constantly.
Yeah, for sure.
In Zach's defense, it's a movie that I don't think about as much as he did, but I did think about it ever since I saw it back in 1980, whatever. It's a movie that has not left me. So.
Also,
James,
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee, yeah.
Also,
Pee-wee's
Paul
in it.
Rubens, exactly.
Yeah,
you guys
Paul
got the Paul Rubens bingo.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Flight of the Navigator. I haven't shown it to my kids yet, but I would like to. I think they'll enjoy it.
What's the holdup? Is there like content in it that you're a little afraid of, or?
So when he comes back to his family, right? He's been missing for like 6 or 8 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is very scary because his parents look like they've lost their child for the past 6 years. They, there's all these. He has to go to the hospital and get like medically checked out. It's like psychologically scary to feel
it's a little intense.
You've lost your family. Yeah,
sure.
He also like wakes up in the woods with lights all around him.
Like,
doesn't he? Like when he gets lost.
Sure. Yeah.
I remember as a kid finding that moment scary. Like he's in the woods, and all the spotlights are going around.
It was also my number 1 on top 10 movies that feature invisibility.
The spaceship.
Yep. It was my number 2 on top 10 missing person movies. It was my number 2 on top 10 feel good sci-fi movies.
Like, what's my Flight of the Navigator? Is there a movie that I keep bringing up that like you guys have just clocked that I like constantly bring this up?
It's probably a horse movie
right now, though.
Okay.
Lean on Pete.
Just kidding. I bring that up because it's annoying that Zach hasn't watched that one either. Because he's such a horse movie guy, but he hasn't seen Lean on Pete for some reason.
I'm excited about that one. I've heard good things.
You're not a horse movie person.
Are you kidding me? I love horse movies.
You just won't watch them.
I would love to watch them, James. They sound fantastic. It's like right up my alley. Because
What was the other one? The Rider? Have you seen The Rider?
The Rider. Oh, I've been meaning to. That one sounds great.
Another good, fairly recent horse movie.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm probably most excited because I'm a big horse movie guy. So like that is definitely fits in my taste.
I think The Rider is like what's her name? Who did Eternals?
Chloe Zhao.
Didn't she do Rider? Who did The Rider?
Maybe.
The Rider. Who's next?
I literally can't wait for that one.
It's a Chloe Zhao movie.
Yeah,
watch The Rider, Zach. What are you doing?
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
I'm into it.
I take it back. The next time we're forcing people to watch movies, I'm forcing Zach to watch The Rider and Lean on Pete.
That'd be a dream.
Back-to-back horse movies.
Yes. Thank you.
Who is next? Is it me?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay. My number 1 is a movie that has been mentioned before from 2020, Palm Springs. Both Zach and I had it on our list. Kyle, have you seen Palm Springs?
Yeah, it was on my list also.
Oh.
That's a bingo.
I missed that. Zach said it all. My number 1.
Yeah,
Kyle said something that I didn't listen to clearly. So
I pretty much just parroted what Zach said. That's pretty
Okay.
much it. So Zach got
Perfect.
it all. Yeah, Zach carried the torch on this one. My number one, I'm surprised no one had on their list. So maybe it's not 90 Minutes, and Letterboxd lied to me. And it is 1999's Office Space, which is a great workplace comedy. And I'll just say that when I saw this movie as a young man, I identified with Peter, and then I watched it a couple of years ago, and now I realize I'm Bill Lumberg, and that's okay. That's fine. I've accepted my role in the corporate structure.
according to Google, 89 minutes.
Well, again, I did a poor search on Letterboxd during the show, so
Sure.
take what I can get.
No, I don't think it was poor.
According to IMDb, 1 hour, 29 minutes. So,
Do you know what guess what that movie grossed?
oh,
Office
nothing.
Space?
It made so little money. It was like, I would say 2 million.
I was talking to my nephew about this movie, about Office Space recently, like in the last week or two. And I was watching Widow's Bay, and it has the stapler guy from the Office Space in it as like a totally different actor.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root. And I was talking about Office Space, and I made an Office Space reference, and then my nephew made a reference back to me from Office Space. And I was like, "You've seen Office Space?" And he goes, "Nah, I haven't seen it." I was like, "Well, how would you?" He's like, "It comes up in memes all the time." And I was like, "That's crazy." And so I just started showing him memes from Office Space, and he had seen all of them, but had no context for why they were funny. And I was like, "You need to sit down and watch Office Space, dude. These are way funnier when you actually know why they're funny."
In the context. James, how many Office Space references to get concerned?
Out of nowhere?
Yeah, just,
What year is it? Today or like 20
Today.
years ago? Because
Yeah,
they were all over the place 20 years ago.
Yeah, no.
Today, from people who don't know each other, but are in my life.
Yeah, you're just like you're just like at the grocery store, like Mondays, huh? Like, okay, yeah, and then you go to like get gas and like, hey, don't you have a red stapler? And it's
I think generally with this question broadly, rule of threes.
Okay, 3
totally separate groups of people somehow bring up the Office Space to me out of nowhere, and I'm wondering what's going on at that point. That's
I would need
beyond
12.
coincidence. 12 just to start questioning what's going on. 12.
Yeah.
12 seems high, but to each their own.
Around 12 would be where I'm getting concerned. 3 would be like, what's going on here? 12 would be like, this can't be good.
No, because here's the thing: is there's nothing going on at 3, right? It's not like there's no conspiracy at 3.
Right, but it's
It's just
odd enough for you to
odd.
start questioning it.
I mean, it's odd, but there's nothing going on.
There's something going on. If I'm hearing 3 different Office Space references in the same day, there's something going on. I'd be like, who died? What happened?
But
There's
that's the
no
thing, is
way
no
these
one
people
died.
are just randomly bringing up Office Space to me.
I think for this question, there's like 3 parts. Like part 1 is, when do you notice? Like, when do you notice you're seeing owls? When do you notice people are making, like, at what point do you clock, I've heard multiple of this happening.
That's my
part
3.
1. Part 2 is, when do you start getting concerned of like, oh, this is odd that I've heard this many references or owls or whatever. And then part 3 is, when are you generally worried of conspiracy or something bigger happening? I feel like this is that would, if we ask this question in the future, those are the 3 parts to consider.
I'm like 3 and I'm clocking it that something weird's happening.
Yeah. Or you just notice it. Like, oh, that's the 3rd Office Space reference.
Third one is like, I'm doing a Google search to see who died. Because
Sure,
clearly, like collectively, this is on people's minds.
Death is what drives James.
Why else
drive
would
in this
people
world,
talk about Office Space out of nowhere?
Because apparently all the Gen Zers meme it anyway. So.
But they don't talk about it either. They just in their discords where you don't see, they're popping stapler images to each other and think it's funny, even though they don't even understand why. But then like around 6, if I haven't found an answer yet, I'm like, oh, this is like becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
By 12, I'm starting to think this thing is a negative thing.
Okay.
Because if I still can't find an answer to it.
Sure.
And I'm realizing probably around then that like this is isolated to me.
Right. Because everyone else is like, oh, I noticed that. Interesting. Yeah.
Or they're like, Yeah, I'm realizing that nobody else is having this issue, and
What if
that would
all the
make me
people
feel
are
like it's a
having an
negative.
issue? What if you're like, yeah, that I just keep hearing Office Space references all day?
I'd be less scared about it then.
Really? Okay, interesting.
What about you, Zach? Would it be more scary or less scary if it's only happening to you?
More if it's happening to everybody.
You think it's more scary if everybody's
I do.
having like a collective Office Space moment?
Maybe at first. Then it just becomes like, everyone's making cultural references,
Mm-hmm.
But what if it just like it can't stop? Like there's no explanation.
Right.
It's
If
just
they can't stop, then I'm worried about like a group psychosis, something in the water,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but like I'd be concerned for them, but not for me. I didn't make the Office Space references.
But you're still I'm not.
But
I mean,
society
you're still
needs to persist.
Yeah. It just can't be memes.
I'm just saying, like, I'm less concerned for myself, more concerned for everybody else because they're the ones that had the issue. I don't have the issue.
At what point would you say I can no longer hear Mondays, huh, anymore? Like, it's just like I can't stop saying that to me.
I'd like to think like I could live through that for as long as needed, but it would get on my nerves pretty fast.
If it's every day, doesn't matter what day it was.
I mean, that's the point of the joke, right? Like the joke itself is that people are annoyed when people say that to you.
Sure, yeah. Because it's innocuous, it's fluff. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, and it's like a pretty negative outlook.
Sure, yeah.
It's not what you want to hear the first thing when you walk into the job you hate. Zach?
Yeah.
It's the end of the show.
Yeah.
It's time to wrap this up and get out of here. Thank you for listening to episode 741 of the Cinereelists. Before we go, don't forget, check out the video version on YouTube. Support us on Patreon. Leave us an Apple Podcast review. Send us an email. Try to win that vintage t-shirt from the 2002 M. Night Shyamalan movie, Signs. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. You could also support us by following us on social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Or you could follow me on my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shaban.
Find me on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
We don't know exactly what we're doing next week. It'll possibly be the new Ridley Scott movie Dog Star, or it might be the new animated movie Coyote versus Acme. It's probably one of those two, or a third option that we don't know. We don't even have yet. It's going to be one of those three, most likely. So if you want to do homework, see Dog Star and Coyote versus Acme and any other possibility.
And any other movie you want to watch.
And you'll be covered. Regardless, we'll see you there. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.